So I figured I'd put out an extra video tonight. I'm kind of getting you guys to caught up on what's been going on and everything, like where I've been, you know, how I got where I'm at, since I'm going to like a daily log or whatever. I'm gonna try and include little stuff, you know, like throughout the day, things that I see. Like, you know, I'll have my phone with me and I'll just, like, you know, this is what I'm experiencing or something like that. But you know, I wanted to put out kind of like the last week or so, because it's been kind of interesting. So today's Friday, it's the 20th or whatever. I'm now in Bernardo, Texas. I took a load of, well, let me go back to like 2 weeks ago real quick. So I'll tell you about it. I'm going to try to keep this short because I don't want to go over 10 minutes. But so I took a load about 2 weeks ago out of Dallas. I think I went to Henderson, Nevada. I dropped that off, and it was kind of late in the day when I dropped it off, about 2 o'clock. And I ended up sitting overnight in Henderson. So from there, I started off towards Monticello, Utah, because we had another truck with this company. Another driver was kind of in trouble, and there was a load that needed to be saved and taken up to Salt Lake City. But that turned out not to be anything, so I went to St. George. Well, I didn't find a load, but the guy that runs the company did find a load down in Las Vegas, so I went and picked it up. I think I drove out to like Prim, basically, area in Nevada and crashed. From there, I drove down to California, emptied the load. I found a load to Port Townsend, Washington, which if you look up Port Townsend, Washington, because they've got they're like way up on the west side of Puget Sound, across from Seattle. So, and I actually went to a little park called Fort Worden State Park. I was delivering trash cans, and what ended up happening was I started out that direction. I got stuck in traffic, obviously, coming out of the LA area, and that took me like 3 hours to go, 3.5 hours to go 93 miles, which is just crazy. But I finally got north out of the LA area, and then I took the 5 all the way up. Well, I was in contact with the broker, I was in contact with the receiver, you know, kind of keeping them up to date as far as, like, sorry about that, my ELD decided to kick in about that time. So I was trying to keep them up to date about what was going on and everything. And what ended up happening was I was not going to get. I was supposed to deliver on Saturday, this last Saturday, which would have been the 14th of March. And I could have gotten up there. I could have delivered on time, maybe, as long as I didn't run into weather and or traffic. So I was on my way up there. But the thing was, I would have had 2 hours, and the nearest truck stop to Fort Townsend that I could have gotten back to was about 2 hours away. So there wasn't really a place to park, and I actually took off at Olympia and went up the 101, which is gorgeous. I do have video of that, so, and I'm gonna put that up at some point. But anyway, so there wasn't anywhere to park. So I kind of talked to the guy about it. The guy's like, "Hey, you know, maybe you can come like Monday or something like that. You know, it's like if you're any later than 3, you need to maybe just come Monday." Like, okay. So in the meantime, I called the park and I was like, "Hey, is there anywhere I can park up there, like at the park?" And they were like, "I don't know. Let me check." So this guy like called around, tried to find stuff out about that. In the meantime, I hit snow just south of Portland, and it slowed me down quite a bit. You know, coming through the windy bits on 5 just before Portland. And I was kind of heavy, and you know, knew I was going to get slowed down, and knew there were some more. Thought there were some more mountains coming up. There weren't really, but thought there were some more hills and stuff coming up, and so I was a little concerned about it. But it slowed me down enough, and I could see on my GPS like the minutes ticking away. You know, like adding 5 minutes, adding another 5 minutes, adding, you know, so on and so forth. So I was just like, I'm afraid I'm not going to get there today with any real time. The park didn't really know if there was anywhere for me to park, blah, blah, blah. So I kind of made an executive decision. I'm going to go to Portland, to the Jubits there, which is a great truck stop, by the way. And I'm going to park there, and, you know, I'm going to be I'm sort of out of hours anyway. If they can't possibly take me on Sunday, on the 15th to deliver. They can't take me till the 16th anyway, so I'll just do a 34 in Portland. So that's what I did, 34 in Portland. So I do my 34 in Portland, and I ended up, I was debating about whether or not to go out, and I did go out. So, and at the time, the CDC and everybody this is really kind of when things started to ramp up, was right around the 14th and the 15th, but the 15th was like the day. So, the CDC was like, when I went out and left, CDC's like, you know, if you're going to go out, try to stay 3 feet away from, you know, people. If you see anybody coughing, you know, try to get away from them, basically. You know, just be aware, of it or whatever. Well, while I was out, they changed the parameters on me. And so, like, when I got back, I remember I looked at a meme, and the meme was like, it listed all the things I did. Like, don't go out to restaurants, public restaurants, and sit and eat. Don't ride public transportation, which I did. You know, stay 6 feet away from people. Don't congregate in groups more than 10. And I was just like, I've done all of these things today. So, and Portland's a hot spot, by the way. And so I was like, oh, okay. Well, you know, I was already back, so what am I supposed to do about it? You know, I got to go out and kind of explore Portland a little bit, which was kind of nice. So, so anyway, so after that, I drove up the next day to Port Townsend, which was Monday. I delivered in Port Townsend. I got a load from Port Townsend out of Olympia, Washington, and that load was going from Olympia to Silsbee, Texas, which is where I delivered today. So from Monday the 16th until today, that's all I've been doing. So I went from like Olympia, Washington, through Oregon, Idaho, you know, the way you would go. And I came down here. I did wake up yesterday morning in Milan, New Mexico, snowing. Like 10 miles later, going east, it was fine. If you went west 10 miles, it was a shit show. So, anyway, so I finally got to Silsbee, Texas today. And then from Silsbee, I picked up a load out of DeQuincy, Illinois. And now I'm taking that load to Phoenix, Arizona. So, and that's kind of where I'm at. So I've stopped for the night in Bernardo because I'm out of hours. And I'll kind of be out of hours when I get to Phoenix on Monday. So I don't know if I'm going to do a 34 or if I'm going to just like keep going at that point. I'm not sure. I may just run on recaps, you know, just like take Monday off and then try to pick something up Tuesday morning and just run on recaps at that point, because you can do that, I think, at that point, and then just kind of keep pushing it off, you know, until I can get a 34 or something like that. I was going to go home like the first week of April and just take the time off, but like I feel obligated to stay out, so I think I will. And that may change, but probably not at this point. So anyway, I'm gonna take video. I'm gonna go in here. I'm at the TA in Bernardo. I'm gonna go in here probably and try to get. They got a Carl's Jr. here, so I'm gonna go in and try to get a burger. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not really hungry. I've been trying to eat like one meal a day, which hopefully is working. I do feel better. I have to admit that. So, and I drink nothing but water. I fill this cup up with water all day. That's why I have all that water on the truck. I fill this cup up with water all day long. That's all it has in it is water. And lemons. I usually cut up a lemon and put it in there too. So, anyway, which by the way, if you're trying to keep your immune system up to fight coronavirus, lemons have vitamin C in them. So I've got an orange in here in my cupboards, and I'll probably cut the orange up tomorrow because I'm kind of tired of lemons. I'll probably cut the orange up a little bit, and put a few pieces in here. But lemons actually have plenty of vitamin C in them. They're available at the Allsup's truck stop, by the way. Allsup's has groceries if you guys are looking for food. I bought some groceries at the Allsup's the other day. They're like on 287. They're on. There's one, couple on 20 in West Texas. But some of them are truck stops. There's one in Vega. There's one in Chillicothe. There's one in Clarendon, Texas. And if you find one that you can pull into, obviously, and get some stuff, you can get some stuff. But I'm drinking plenty of water and all that stuff. So I may go in here to Carl's and get a burger, but it's carry out only. So I'll show you guys what that looks like, I guess, when I go inside. But I'll put that in tomorrow's video. But anyway, that's it. You know the drill. Keep trying to set it up. Yeah. I'll see you down the road. See you tomorrow. I forgot to tell you guys about the earthquake. I was just like going over the video because I'm gonna have to, because there's 2 videos, like something, my ELD interrupted the videos while I was filming, and I gotta put them together. But since I gotta do that, I forgot to tell you guys about the earthquake. There was an earthquake in Salt Lake City this week, and I was in Snowville, Utah. So like, I'm a little excited about this, I'm not gonna lie, but I picked up I picked up an Olympia. I went south almost down, like I was like 12 miles north somewhere of the Portland, Washington border. From there, I was able to go south, and I was able to get to Snowville, Utah, okay? Which is just, if you look it up, it's just south of the Utah-Idaho border, okay? Anyway, so I crashed there for the night. There's a little diner there called Molly's. And by the way, the best pork chops, the best freaking pork chops that this fat guy has ever eaten in his life. Okay, I'm not even lying. I mean, it was like candy. Okay, so anyway, so if you get a chance to go there, you know, I'll just make sure I have a spot when I get there, please. But anyway, so I woke up. So I set my alarm for 7 o'clock. So the alarm goes off at 7. I get up. I'm, you know, trying to get dressed, socks, shoes, blah blah blah. And all of a sudden, my truck starts shaking, and it's just like, it's like this, like, and I'm like looking around, like, what's going on? Like, you know, like this, like, because it feels kind of like that. It feels like I'm rocking the truck, or somebody's rocking the truck, or maybe the wind's blowing the truck, or something like that. It was really weird. And so, I peek out the curtains, see if the trees are moving. So that's weird. And I'm like looking in the mirrors, trying to figure out if there's anybody like around my truck, like messing with my truck, or maybe somebody's in my truck, you know, or whatnot. And I was just like, that's strange. Like I'm not seeing anything. So, you know, I get finished getting dressed and everything, and finally it stops. I thought maybe it was the engine, maybe there was something wrong with the engine or something like that. So finally it stops, and I'm just like, huh. Like, so I get up, I get out, I get my flashlight, I walk around the truck, and I look, and nothing's disturbed. And, you know, okay. Well, I haven't been eating breakfast. I usually don't eat until about. I've been waiting until about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon before I eat anything, you know. And I'll usually have a little something before I go to bed. But anyway, so I do my pre-trip. I, you know, do my paperwork for my pre-trip. I get back in the truck and I go. I didn't need fuel because I shut the truck off overnight. So I didn't need fuel for another couple hours. So I just kept going. And I'm like dipping along, and I'm doing like, you know, the speed limit in Salt Lake City. And all of a sudden, this little alert pops up on my phone. And I look down at it, and I'm like, okay. And I click on it real quick, and it pops up, and it goes, alert. Like, area alert. The Salt Lake City area experienced a 5.7 magnitude this morning. And I'm just like, the Salt Lake City. Oh, crap. That's what I felt this morning. Like, it was an earthquake. I was in an earthquake. So, yeah. I forgot all about, like, I kind of forgot all about that. Just, there's so much going on every day, and everything changes, like, the news changes every single day. Like, an earthquake got lost in the shuffle. Like, a 5.7 magnitude earthquake got lost in the shuffle. So, but no, I was in an earthquake. I was in Snowville, Magna. This was the epicenter, and I was probably about 90 miles the way the bird flies. 90 to 100 miles the way the bird flies, but by way of bird. And, but anyway, so yeah, I forgot to add that. I wanted to add that because it was, to me, I always wanted to be in an earthquake. I wanted to feel what an earthquake was like, and now I've done it. So, mark that off my list of things to do. Anyway, same thing as before. Keep it shiny side up. See you guys down the road.